So what do we learn about how to really live from all of this? At some point in my childhood, I was asked the question, what will the Lord find you doing when he returns? I was so petrified. Not only that I'd be doing something that God would disapprove of, like lying or cheating or not obeying my parents, but even something just like, what if I have food in my mouth? Or if I'm answering a call of nature? That would be so awkward. But like I said, it's natural for us to wonder about the when. It is. But the point of Jesus' instructions to his disciples, as we read through this passage, the point of Jesus' instructions was to actually discourage them from speculating about the when. It was instead to encourage them toward what I would call a future-oriented faithfulness now. A future-oriented faithfulness now. Christ will come again to judge the living and the dead. The question is, how will you live now in light of that future? What does faithfulness look like? Well, perhaps understanding how context works, we might look just a few verses prior to what Pastor Andrea talked about last week, the greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all of your heart and soul and mind and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. They are intertwined. They are interconnected. They are inseparable, in fact. You see, where I take issue with many of those who proclaim the end of the world is that it doesn't seem to make them more loving. It seems to make them less loving. It seems to give license to marginalize and to demonize. To care less about the world God called us to steward. To care only about themselves and those like them. All of the instructions Jesus gives to watch out are not so that we might be more paranoid and fearful. Everything Jesus teaches is so that we might become more loving. Everything. That is the greatest commandment. Love.